What's up, everybody? My name is Dante Dimatteo. I'm a pharmacist and I'm a part of the Ask Joe Dimatteo group as well. And today's video, I just wanted to bring about a new type of subject for you. It is simply movement and the simple importance of it. Now, it is something that for years we have glossed over. We've even done some video. My father and I have even done some videos in the past that I'm not sure are even still available, but my hopes are to clear the air on some of that and to also just bring a new perspective on how movement and exercise can simply change your life for the better. When you look at our group and sort of what it came from, it was founded on the basis of my father being a resource that you could come to for all things health, and he was very much that for so many years. And we appreciate that you've continued to pour into us and come to us as your outlet for health information. Now, I feel my goal and my calling is to just take that a step further and again bring something more about in terms of physical activity and exercise. So with that, I feel on a daily basis I have the opportunity to make some of these interventions, to have these conversations. In the same conversations that I am maybe solving medication problems or recommending supplements, that I can also talk to you about your past and present history of exercise and maybe what that looks like and where you sit on that spectrum. So it's just crazy that maybe I've waited this long to do this, but I think, again, it's just very important that we have this conversation the same way that we're recommending fish oils or that we're talking to you about a new powder we've released. That this should just be right in the same wheelhouse, and I hope that your takeaway from this video is simply that, and that we are here to equally, if not in a greater way, emphasize the importance of exercise. So to kind of channel this in a more focused direction, there are exercise guidelines that were revised and released in 2018, and what these do is serve as a foundation, serve as a framework to help center people on where they should start if they're lost, on where they should go if they're sick and they're not sure what their exercise program or their exercise level should be, given where they, again, fall on that spectrum. So I just want to highlight those key points. There are special populations. It does talk about children. It does talk about pregnancy and elderly populations, but I just want to hammer the meat of it, and that is simply the numbers, so that you can sort of look at those for what you will, not to feel pressure, but just to understand what the overarching body says about exercise. So where we're at, and this is for adults, they recommend 150 to 300 minutes per week of moderate intensity aerobic activity, or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity activity. So either or. And in addition to one of those two things, they recommend resistance training, so weight training or body weight training, something along those lines. They recommend that to be done on involving all major muscle groups on 2 or more days per week. So you look at that, you see those numbers. It might be a little bit intimidating. You may only be used to 50 minutes per week, and that's okay. And I want to stress that I'm not here telling you what you should do because you should be afraid of a chronic disease, or that you should do this because you should want to look a certain way for vacation or for the beach. I'm not telling you that that's why you need to do these things. But what it really means to me, and this is a quote from James Fitzgerald, who is one of my influences and one of my mentors. I've had the pleasure of actually talking to him. He was the first-time CrossFit champion, at the inception of the CrossFit Games. And you might kind of hear CrossFit and be like, that's not me, that's not part of what I do. But the purpose of me even stating this is the fact that he used his platform to then go forward and say, how can I expound upon my experience and talk to the general population about performance, maybe, but more so health, exercise, physical activity for the masses. And so just like my father, he's just kind of pushed me to continue to have those same conversations. So I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not telling you some things that there's some of these things you may already know. But the point is, again, that this needs emphasized, just like many of the other things we talk about. So back to his quote, he simply says, Move not because you should, but because you can. So again, I'm not telling you you should do any of these things, and you should be motivated, and you should search to find areas of motivation. I'm not telling you that that's not true. But again, you shouldn't just do this because I handed you a packet stating the physical activity guidelines, but because as a human being, you can express yourself physically and also reap the benefits by a lifetime of physical activity and physical expression. If you have any more questions as it pertains to exercise-related topics, please feel free to reach out to us either via email or you can call the store and we can hopefully start to have these conversations with you. Thank you.